This here podcast is for a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You never know, we might be talking about spirituality and wellness, relationships, whatever it is that you do to get your money, be it working somewhere, be it running your own thing, be it having a side hustle. It's all good over here. We are getting organized. We are handling our time management better, and we are having fun through it all. Because over here, it's all love, all light, and good vibes only. So, if you are interested in living, laughing, and learning, growing and glowing, drinking your water, and minding your own business, this is the perfect place for you. Hi, I'm Tiff, and welcome. Hey friends, and welcome to another edition of the Life Unscripted podcast by Organized Energy. I hope that you are having an amazing day. I am so happy that you are joining me for this little time that we're going to share together. Y'all know what I say. Now, if you're new to the show, you don't know what I say. But those who are a friend to the show and y'all show up quite often, you know what I say when it comes to time. Time is our greatest commodity. And once you spend it, you cannot get it back. So I really appreciate you spending your precious time with me. It really means so much. Now, if you are a friend to the show and you show up all the time, I want to say welcome back, and I want to thank you for being so faithful and for your support of this particular platform. If you are a new friend to the show, I am so happy for you to be here. I hope that you come and you get what you came for. I hope that you leave inspired, and I hope that you feel like the time we spent together was absolutely well spent. And I hope that you come back again and again. Now that kind of sounds like church announcements and that little welcome spiel that they give to visitors. And I'm so sorry about that, guys. But I mean, I really mean that. I really mean everything that I just said right there. And also, if you are new, I guess what I should do is probably introduce myself to you so that we are no longer strangers. Okay. So let me do that, and then we will get on with what you came for. Okay. All right. So welcome again. Especially if you are a new friend. My name is Tiffany, and I am an author, and I love all things personal and professional development. I am a certified life coach, and then I have been a serial entrepreneur and a founder of a couple of different startups for the past 21 years or so, and I'm excited about that. And so the life coach, the certified life coach in me, won't let me lean on one thing more than the other. I'm all about, I feel like with everything, moderation. And again, I really am a huge proponent for holistic development. So that's why on this show, we talk about a little bit of everything, as far as relationships, business, career, self-care, and so on and so forth. Okay. And that's what I love about this particular show. And I just love sharing those kinds of tidbits with you. All right. Now, I want to hear from you. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you love, what your passions are, what your profession is, what you feel like your purpose is. I want to know how you're feeling. In what ways have you been winning lately? And even if there's something that you would ask that I stand in agreement with you in prayer in. So for any of those things, or whatever it is I didn't call off that you might need or want to share, please inbox me on any of the social media platforms that you might find us on. I hang around LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube the most. But go to the website as well, organizedenergy.co, and introduce yourself to me and just kind of let me know what's up with you. Okay. I would love to know. All right. Now that we got all those formalities out of the way, let's get to what you came for, today's topic. Okay. All right. So this is a topic that actually can apply both personally and professionally. It is almost an essential life skill in general. And that is the art of networking. I've been to several events, conferences, and even virtual webinars and, in-person events and things like that lately. And I'm seeing that there are many people who are going to fall into one of three categories. I'm just kind of watching people. I watch people, I watch people and I see. And I'm watching the trend. And so this is what I'm noticing. When it comes to networking, first of all, it is so important that you master the art of networking. It is so important that you feel comfortable and that you enjoy networking, because it is a really huge component to your overall success and development as an individual, just as a person, and also professionally or for your brand, for your career and otherwise. Okay. And so there's that. I was going to say something else, but I'll hold off for a second. So when I am at events, when I'm at these conferences, when I'm at these seminars, and even, like I said, virtually online, even, of course, in person, I'm noticing that some people literally come and they listen to, the keynote or the spill, the workshop, speaker, facilitator, whatnot. They listen for that information. They take their little notes and they leave. Didn't really interact with anybody that was there. And so, in success and feeling happy with what they came for is relative, right? That all depends on the individual person because we all are seeking something different. So maybe that's all they wanted and that's all they needed was just to show up, get the information that was been presented, by the speaker or whatnot, and to go. That's cool. But, I noticed that there's not much, intermingling with the attendees. Okay. The other person that I see is the person that you might see them exchanging dialogue, but they're doing it with people that they already are familiar with, people that they already know. They're not really taking the time to kind of break the ice and create opportunities for conversation with people they don't know. And so then again, it's and that's okay, because maybe they didn't need to know anybody new, right? Maybe they're not looking for an opportunity to expand their network, and that is completely okay. But, for me, I guess I'm always looking to meet someone to learn more about them, their needs, their brand, their passions, their purpose, their profession, why they started it. How can I, assist them in some way as their, whatever their need might be, that I might be able to add value or assist in some way. And so there's that. There are people who just kind of stick to who they know. So they are talking, but it's just to their friends and so on and so forth. So there's that person. And then there's a person that might have, entertained a little bit of conversation. They might have, mingled a little bit. They might have exchanged business cards or, whatever, brochures or whatever that might look like. And they bring those brochures, those flyers, those business cards home, or to their office. They set those cards down somewhere or trash them. But they don't revisit those cards if they put them on their dresser, on their desk, whatever. And it's like they're there, but they're not really being utilized. And it's like, okay, well, what good was that? They collected this whole deck of cards, but didn't use any of them. And so in any of those three instances, again, depends on what your needs are and what your preferences are. But I would venture to say that there might be, if you are the kind of person that looks to expand your network so that you can grow as a person, so that you can help someone else grow, so that you can become a connector, I feel like there might be a different way, a better way, a more efficient way, possibly. Again, that's all relative because it depends on your needs. Okay. So, but for those who wish to network and just don't feel comfortable, don't know how, or really hadn't given it much thought, but once we have this conversation, they might see things different and be inspired to do it differently. That's who this conversation's for. If that's not you, you can leave the room. Respectfully, I don't mean that in any kind of crazy way, but it's okay. This might not be the conversation that you're going to get most benefit from. That's all I'm saying. But please feel free to stick around if you are just interested in eavesdropping, and hopefully, you might see things in a different perspective. Okay. All right. So, what I would say, in this instance, is to, again, see things a little differently, and open your mind to the possibilities that are available through networking, understanding how valuable networking is. And when we talk about networking, it is not for the primary benefit of you being able to sell something or get something from the other people. Networking is all about building relationships. It's all about building relationships. It is not about you're trying to collect all these business cards and have these new contacts because you want to, there's that many more people that you can sell something to. That's almost like being an opportunist. True networking, involves true relationship building, authentic relationships that establishes trust. And that is an art. Authentic, that's the A. Relationship building, that's the R. That establishes trust, that's the T. And so when that happens, then true networking occurs. And then you have an ally that feels safe with you because they know that you have provided value up front for them. And then they don't have any problem at all speaking up for you when there's an opportunity, when they can suggest your name if someone's looking for something that they know is in your wheelhouse. Okay. All right. So that being said, there's processes, and you might hear people say there's levels to this. That's just kind of a term that people use these days for other things. And that definitely applies in this as well. There's levels to this. There's levels to networking. And there might be some processes that you might want to think about and have in place. There is a little bit of business in this, in that there is the process, the workflow. But then, we take the business part out or don't apply it so much when we're going towards the relationship building piece. That's authentic, that you really want to establish a relationship with people. Okay. All right. So, that being said, let's take it from the top, y'all. Let's run through just one way that you can, network and that you can properly prepare for when you're say going to a seminar, a workshop, a conference. Let's see how we can prepare for those. All right. All right. So first of all, I'm one of them kind of people that's who all gonna be there? Who all gonna be there? I don't even know if I want to be there yet because I need to know who is on the list, who's coming, who's on the roster. So before you even get to the networking event, sometimes you can do your due diligence. Sometimes you can do your research and you can find out who is coming, who has registered, who will be there. If you know who the speakers are going to be, the facilitators, the conference hosts or whatnot, the guest list, one thing that you can do if you know who all's going to be there, or at least a few people, because sometimes depending on the platform that's being utilized to promote the event, sometimes you can see who has agreed to come or who says they're interested, they might be there, that kind of thing. So you might want to begin the networking before the event even takes place. So if you can kind of see who that's going to be, who's coming, who's on the roster, who's presenting, who's going to be a vendor there, who's going to whatever, kind of start finding them on their social media pages if they, make sense for you to connect with. I mean, if they don't make sense for you to connect with, if you don't see where you all can be strategic partners in some kind of way and provide value for each other because you all are even kind of, maybe you have similar interests, or you might have a similar target market, or something that makes sense is why, as to why you might want to connect. But if you find that there is some commonality and it makes sense, go ahead and start reaching out via, social media and just, let them know, hey, I'm coming to the event too, hope to see you there. Seems like we have a lot in common. Can't wait to connect, or whatever that might look like for you. So there's that. So there's the pre-game show, if you can do that. Also, have a QR code prepared that you might want to have printed up on a business card. I'm going to tell you something I did at an event that I recently went to that I'm so excited about. Can't wait to do it again. I literally had a QR code printed up on the back of my shirt, which was really cute. It might sound obnoxious until you can actually see it. You might not can visualize it, but it was really nice. I had a really nice branded shirt made. And I wore, my dress slacks and all that so that I was, still professional and looked nice. But the shirt was really cute. And so literally, rather than people saying, do you have a card on you? Do you have a card on you? I was able to be like, you know what? You scan the QR code on the back of my shirt. It was really cute. I got a lot of great compliments, great feedback on that. And that took them directly to the webpage or the site or the a social media account or wherever it was that I wanted them to be, where I wanted them to land to find out more about me or my offerings or whatever. So that works really well. But if not that, your business card or whatever. And if not that, I know people are going to more digital options, but have something prepared, whatever that is, tangibly, digitally, whatever, so that people can connect with you. Okay. So there's that. So you have that prepared. So when you go to the event, we're at the event now. And so before the events really get started good, you might strike up conversation, just be friendly, wear your smile, be approachable, all those things. Just have an open mind, be positive, and, just kind of start mingling and starting conversations and breaking the ice and learning more about people, who they are and what they do and why they do it. And, just more about them. Someone told me a long time ago, and this is so true. It's better to be interested than interesting. It's better to be interested, be interested in other people than trying to steal the show and you being the one that's interesting. No, someone said something to me actually yesterday that I love. He put it like this, which I love. He said, lead with your listening ear. Lead with your listening ear rather than having so much to say. Listen, be interested in people. And I love that. It's so true. So anyway, so you're there at the event, you're waiting for it to get started. You're mingling with people, you're exchanging cards, you are finding out about them and their interests and all this good stuff. Okay, so you've collected their cards. throughout the event, you might be listening to workshop speakers or a keynote or whatever. You're taking notes there, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be connecting with those speakers, those facilitators, finding them online on their social media sites and just kind of connecting with them, creating a personalized note to go along with your connection request, possibly. Now, this is all just like a way. It's not the only way. I'm just running down a workflow, a sample workflow. Do what's best for you. Okay. I'm just sharing with you the things that I do. Okay. This is what I do. I try to connect with workshop facilitators or, whoever is doing the keynote or whatever. I just try to find them online and, connect and, let them know, hey, I enjoyed your talk at the blah, blah, blah event. Love to connect with you. Can't wait to follow your content, learn more of whatever it is you're wanting to share online or whatever that looks like to you. And so you've collected cards, you've made these contacts, you've, had some great conversations, so on and so forth. I get back home or I get back to my desk and, I try to send a follow-up email. Hey, it was great meeting you, Susie. It was awesome to hear about, what it is you do over at XYZ company, or it was awesome to hear about, the things that you're working on. I'm so excited about your initiatives. I really love hearing about what people are up to, what they're interested in, what they're passionate about, where their passion projects are. Like, that just makes me so happy. But then, based on what they've shared, you might ask, I love to be a connector, is there anything that I can do? Is there anyone that maybe I can help introduce you to? Or if they didn't have to ask you, it just comes to mind naturally. Hey, Susie does this, and I already have a friend named so-and-so that does that. I think they'd be a great match to work together, or at least have a coffee and find out what their commonalities might be and how they might be able to work together. So you might provide an introduction, in the email. Hey, Susie, I've got a friend named so-and-so. I think that they would be a great fit for your project. Or at least to have coffee, so-and-so, I've copied you in on this, blah, blah, blah. So you've already led with value, not because you're trying to get anything, but literally because that's who you want to be as a connector. And you want to provide value to those who are in your network. You want to be an asset to people and not a liability, right? And so you're connecting them. If you've come across an article that they might, that Susie might be interested in based on what little you know about Susie, you might provide a link to that. And then you might add Susie to your contacts, and it might be a spreadsheet, spreadsheet might say, date, that you've met, how you guys met, Susie's contact information, and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Just so that you can keep up with your contacts. People do business with people more so than they are and quicker than they are to do business with a business. People do business with people quicker than they will do business with a business. People like a personalized experience. They don't want to feel like their experience with you is just transactional. And so it's so important that you care about people. You care about providing value. What can I do to make their life easier? That's within my ability, within my wheelhouse. What can I do that's going to let them know that I truly am interested in, just cheering them on, and I want to see them succeed. I want to see them happy. I want to, whatever it is I can do, to help. Hey, I'm here, and I want them to know. Not to say that you're just being a pushover or giving all your assets, your services, your expertise away for free or anything like that. But honestly, if there's something you can do and it's not hurting you and it's not costing you a dime, why not? And they know then that they've got a friend in you. So there's that. So you've gotten home or back to your office. You sent this follow-up email. Hey, it was great meeting. I loved hearing about what you got going on. So on and so forth. Here's a connection I want to introduce you to. Here's an article or a resource that I thought would be great for you. and boom, you've sent that. Now, hopefully they'll send something back. If not, maybe in a few days you might follow up and just circle back around to them if you haven't heard back. And then you might even, make a call, because sometimes your message might have, fallen in spam or something. And so they didn't even see it, to be able to respond. So you might just maybe attempt to call based on the information that's on the card. And you just kind of go from there. So there's adding the value there. You might offer a coffee, hey, well, are you interested in a virtual coffee so we can kind of get to know each other more, so I can learn more about what you got going on, blah, 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 blah. And then you all can take it from there, whatever that conversation looks like. In order to stay top of mind with Susie, you might need to, reach out to Susie a couple of times, maybe a week, 2 weeks a piece, spaced out. Maybe it starts with an email and then with another email, a couple weeks later, and maybe a phone call a few weeks later, maybe a coffee a few weeks after that, maybe sending a resource a few weeks after that, maybe circling back around, and just various things until you guys get really comfortable. You start speaking up for Susie when you know of someone that needs what Susie's offering. Susie starts speaking up for you when they know of someone that needs what you're offering. And then you guys might even look into, well, how can, I need what Susie's offering, or Susie actually needs what you're offering. And so there's the safety there and the comfort level that's been increased for Susie to pursue your commodities, your services, whatever it is you're offering. And so it might take time to get all those things going. But over time, they will, and it will be based on a trust factor there that you guys have set up when you have built rapport with each other over time. So I say that to say, going back to the levels of networking, you might have a checklist. You might, and now this is the part that sounds like it's, automated and takes a human element out of it, but it's not that. It's just, you kind of, it's almost like if you were a nurse working at the hospital and you're trying to check on all the beds, all the rooms that are your people that's on your roster as a nurse or something, you're like, you have to check on the, so you're kind of keeping up with who all you've checked on so far, who you still haven't heard from, who you got to check on now that you got, and it's just it is a thing. And that at that point, on the more administrative side for you, that's where maybe the business piece comes in. And it's not because it's just business. It's just that, there has to be some kind of order, that's all. It's not because that they are just a number or that, this is transactional only. It's literally just because you got to kind of keep some kind of order to keep up with who you've checked in with, who you've tried to build rapport with, who you've had coffee with, who you've emailed this week, who you've called this week, and so on and so forth. At some point, you are a professional and this is a business to some degree, right? We can't just pretend like there is nothing at stake, because it is. I'm simply saying that it's not the only thing at stake is the transaction. There is the relationship that is at stake as well. And I would love to think that you actually want quality people in your network, quality people that you can help and that know that they can help you when needed, or you can refer them or whatever. So there's that. So when it comes to this, there are things called CRMs, client or customer relationship management tools, CRM, client relationship management tools. So that's like software apps that can help you with those things to keep you straight on, okay, you met Susie. First thing you do is put Susie's information into your database. This thing is going to then, tell you step 1, don't forget to email Susie. Step 2, don't forget to call Susie. Step 3, don't forget to have coffee with Susie. Step 4, don't forget to blah, 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 and it takes you through that process, that pipeline. If you go to my website, you can find out some of the CRMs that I highly recommend and which one is my favorite. So you can go to organizedenergy.co/resources. organizedenergy.co/resources, and you'll be able to find client or customer relationship management tools. And you'll find some options that might best suit you, your budget, your needs, and this kind of thing. If you don't want to go that route, you can always simply stick to a spreadsheet. And if nothing else, you can do paper and pencil. So there's that. But just kind of create a checklist of what does that look like? What does that workflow look like for you? How do you properly onboard a new person? How do you, into your network? How do you treat them? What do you do? What do you want it to look like? What are those steps? Where are you trying to get to with them? Where do you want them to get to with you? How can you add value? How can you make them happy? Asking questions like, how can I help you, Susie? What are you looking for, Susie? What are your current projects? And so on and so forth. All right. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that the next time you have an opportunity to meet new people that you will. Kind of reminds me of that song, the next time, what is it? What's it called? I Hope You Dance. Yeah, that's called I Hope You Dance. It's almost like that. I hope that you network. I hope that the next time you have an opportunity to, that you do, that, you show yourself to be friendly, show yourself to be amicable, show yourself to be warm and welcoming, that you find a creative way to share who you are and what you do. Like I said, think about in terms of I have my shirt with my QR code in the back. But there's all kinds of ways you can do whatever you're going to do. Even if you're just going to have a QR code ready on your cell phone so that when people ask, you've got it and you just let them scan that, which is going to take them to, wherever you want them to land. That's going to help them get into your circle, whether it's to your LinkedIn page or to your landing page or to something, whatever. But anyway, I hope that you are willing to, kind of just do some networking and find ways to follow up and follow through. Because, on the business side, people say the fortune is in the follow-up. It's in the follow-up. You have to be consistent. You have to follow up, and you have to be really authentic about the fact that you want to provide value. Be a friend, be an ally, and be true about that, not sneaky and up to something. You're really trying to make a sale at the end of the day. No, you really want to meet people and you really want to help. Because when that's the case and when that is true, whatever it is you're offering sells itself, right? Because people need it and they want it and they ask you for it, So that's that. That's my 2 cents. You let me know what you think about that. I would love to know. And so comment, DM me, private message me, email me, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about this. I hope that this has helped you. And if it has, I ask that you share this with someone else. Share this with someone that might be able to utilize this. If you have a newsletter that you send out regularly, share the link to this particular episode in your newsletter so that those who read your newsletter will have access to this and can check it out themselves. Lastly, I will offer that just like that there's the client relationship management tool that I have on my website under the resources tab, there's tons of other resources and categories of things that I use, apps and software and tools and things that I love. It just helps make things easier. And so if you want to just kind of get in on what all those things are, I'd be happy to send that information to you. I'll send you an email once or twice a week for the next several weeks until you've gotten through my whole little catalog of the things I love when, in running business, so that you can work smarter and not harder. The way you can get in on that email which, like I said, you'll get like a couple a week for the next several weeks, like I said, and just until you can get through all the things that I love, the tools I love. So that is organizedenergy.co/spill the tea. Organizedenergy.co/spill the tea, so that you can get the tea on the tech that I use in running my business. So that's that on that. I hope that this time has been purposeful for you. I hope that you found value here, and I hope that you come back and get more value. All right. So until the next time, I hope that you have the most amazing, the best, the most blessed week ever. It is awesome to listen to my show, but wouldn't it be amazing if you could launch your very own? Go from listening to launching when you pick up my new book called Is This Thing On? The Super Simple Guide to Planning, Launching, and Scaling Your Podcast. And of course, it was written by a podcaster for new and aspiring podcasters. Think of it as business strategy meets podcasting 101. So yeah, anyone can launch a podcast. That's the easy part. But not everyone understands the business and brand strategy behind operating a podcast. Be it if you're doing it just for yourself and for pleasure as a hobby, or if you're doing it to get more eyes on your brand. Either way, this book, this project is for you. Visit organizedenergy.co/shop. Again, organizedenergy.co/shop. I've got some goodies for you. I want you to visit organizedenergy.co/spill the tea. Organizedenergy.co/spill the tea. I have curated a list of some of the favorite tools and resources that I use as I operate my business that have been amazing for me. They have helped me to save time. They have helped me to build my team. They have helped me to stay connected with my people. And I absolutely love so many of these tools. I want to share them with you, and it's free to download. So again, go to organizedenergy.co/spill the tea so that I can help you get started working smarter and not harder. Again, and as always, I want to thank you for listening. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you shared your time with me. That's number one. Number two, I always tell you guys as I close out my show that I love you. I remind you that God loves you. And I want you to make sure that you love you. Okay? I love you. God loves you. I want to make sure that you love you. Now, if you enjoyed this show and what you heard today, I ask that you do me a favor as my bestie. Would you please go over to Apple Podcasts, to Spotify, and wherever else you listen that has the opportunity for you to rate and review. I would love for you to rate the show and to leave a meaningful review. I want to make sure that you also have subscribed to the show and that you will share it with someone that you think would really enjoy it like you do. Okay? I truly appreciate you. I really do love you. And I cannot wait for you to join me again on the next episode. Have the absolute best week ever.